We welcome you here to the North Star Network for a live broadcast of this CNS girls flag football game versus Syracuse East, a.k.a. Henniger. These two teams' last matchup was last year, which is our first year we saw of flag football, and wow, wasn't it an exciting one. Now, I was not here for it, unfortunately, but Joe Simon and some of our other crew members were there for that matchup, and, with seconds left, what a thriller of a game. They score a touchdown with 5 seconds left, go for the 2-point conversion, go for it, get it, and win the game. So that was an exciting one. So these two teams, North Star starting off 1-0. Syracuse East has not played a game yet this season. 7-6 was the North Star's first win on the road versus Bethlehem. So it was a close game. Now, we do not have any stats for flag football. Hopefully that changes. But in the meantime, we will take a break as they do the national anthem. We welcome you back after that national anthem by our CNS chorus. They're not live with us today, but we have a lovely recording of them, me being one of those members. Look at that. So we welcome you, as I said, to this wonderful matchup here. It's a chilly night, but at least the sun's out. The sun is shining. I mean, you can't complain about that. It's blue skies, just a couple clouds in the atmosphere. So a wonderful day. So, guys, today, exciting matchup, and this is only our second year of flag football. Are you guys excited for this game?
I am so excited. Flag football was so fun last year.
Yeah, even though they had their troubles, they found their times to shine, and it was exciting to watch for sure. So let's see our starting lineups for the North Stars. Starting at QB, we have Olivia Cook. At wide receiver, Elise Cook, wide receiver as well, Haley Dupra. Center, we have Charlie Johnson. Wide receiver, Amanda Timmons, Grace Villeneuve, and Meadow Wirtz. So we're already underway here as Syracuse East is going to start off with the ball.
This is my first flag football game ever, actually. I've never seen a flag football game before. This will be, from what I've heard, it's a nice experience, and I'm really excited today to, see my first flag football game.
Yeah, they're exciting. I'll tell you that. So, starting at QB for Syracuse East is Taikai Baker, who her first pass of the season, incomplete. This one she tosses off. Nobody's able to pull the flag. They are unable to get to the first down. As a matter of fact, they're only gain a few yards. Reminder for all our fans at home, it's pretty much 1st and 20 with flag football. So essentially, once you get to the so you start at the 20. Once you get to the 40, that's a first down. Once you get to the other 20, that's a first down. And then once you get a touchdown, you have 4 tries to get to the touchdown after you get to the 20. So it's essentially 1st and 20.
They just said first down.
Okay. So I guess they start behind the line. That doesn't make sense. Oh, wow. She's gone. Look at that. Oh, my God.
Blown coverage.
Taikai Baker, who was starting in the QB position, takes it all the way, and Syracuse East in the first minute and a half are already on the board.
Yeah, well, the North Stars, their defense was just unprepared for the quarterback to run, and it showed. Oh, there's just wide open lanes everywhere, and CNS's defense wasn't able to take possession of it.
I need to lock in this next play.
Yeah, so I was confused about that because you start on the 20-yard line, whoever starts with the ball, and it appeared they did kind of start on the 20-yard line. You had the first incomplete pass, but then they said first down once they got past the 20. So I'm a little confused there. Because I know, yes, obviously once you get to the 20, it is a first down, but that's like if you start behind the 20, which they shouldn't have. Did they pull the flag before the goal line? I don't. They still haven't updated the scoreboard yet.
Doesn't look like they did pull
Oh,
it.
now they just did.
All right, there's the score, 6. I don't know if they completed that one. I think I saw the flag being pulled just before the goal line.
Maybe I was.
I don't.
Maybe I was seeing things.
I don't know.
Well, no points have been added, so I'm gonna assume that that's an incomplete.
Well,
Or they didn't make it.
So okay, so here's the thing. It appears they're starting at the 15, and then they have to get to the 20 for their first down, and then they have to make it to the 40, then the 20, then the goal. Well, not according to NFHS. It shouldn't be like that. So yeah, they're starting pretty much at the. As a matter of fact, they're starting at the 14.
Yeah, that's a oddly specific place to start, I feel like.
Yes.
But whatever.
now, yes, sorry about that there. Had a brief audio issue. We do have a couple of stats for this game, and one of those is that CNS has not lost a game while the temperature is 47 degrees on kickoff.
That is
So-
really fascinating.
Where'd you find this stat? Where'd you get this unknown source?
I actually watched through our North Star Network games last year and took some past weather data, and there was one game where the temperature was 47 degrees on kickoff. Can't remember who they played, but they won that game.
Oh, whoa, what a nice flip. Oh, what a handoff. And she's still
Out of
up.
bounds? Ooh,
Wow.
looks like she stepped out of bounds. Oh, and her flag was pulled.
Yes, that's the tough thing. Sometimes if they don't declare the flag pulled right at the spot, it's tough for us to see, especially up in the booth because, they're not down. As for a tackle, they're down. But in this case, so I don't know how this – so, yes, so like if they only need a yard
What's
to get the first down.
Hang on,
here in
what's
this
that
case.
measuring stick looking thing.
Oh,
That's sitting on the wall.
it's like a it's kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a little bit of a leeway, if you will. That's the word I'm looking for. That's
Okay.
like the line of scrimmage, if you will.
Okay.
Oh wow, she launches that one deep.
Ooh,
It's caught.
Oh my gosh.
Touchdown response by the North Stars. What a deep ball.
That was a great
Wow.
Wow.
What a pass by Olivia Cook, the senior.
What a
As she launches that one downfield, I believe it was Elise Cook, her sister, who
Cook-
caught that.
Cook to Cook for the touchdown.
They cooked.
Cook to Cook as All right, we welcome you back. As Killian appears to have forgotten that we are not wireless audio here at the North Star Network, we are in fact wired, and he seemed to have tripped over a few wires here, and we had a little tumble with our audio equipment here. So, but we're back. That's all that matters.
I mean, well, I tried to stand up and it didn't really go as.
All right, now he's standing up this time, not tripping over some wires. All right, we welcome you back as the North Stars unable to complete on their one-point conversion. So it's 6-7. That score sounds a little bit familiar, as both of my color commentators here are taking a little bit of a laughter break, perhaps. Not quite sure. Here, Jack, you want to hop on call?
Yeah, sure, I will.
We got Jack Mannion, who's our he's going to have our rules for us tonight, and also he is our camera operator. So, Jack, that was a huge play. Let's go back to the game.
Yeah, cook to cook.
Cook to
Can't
cook.
get any better than that.
Exactly. I mean, a deep ball just down the sideline. What a pass. What a catch. What a touchdown.
I still don't get these rules.
Yeah, I'm a little fuzzy on them too. So essentially, they have to get to the 20 here, Jack, on this part. And then let's say they get to the 30-yard line. Then they have a first down, and they have to get to the 40, so 10. Let's say they get to the 35-yard line, then they only need 5 yards for the first down. So just depending on where it's not like consistent like in regular football where it's always first and 10. It could be first and 5. It could be first and 20. It just depends on where you take it.
Yeah.
So off to the races is Ty Kai Baker, Syracuse East Junior, as she gets the first down and moves the sticks. We're still missing our two color commentators, Caroline and Killian. Luckily, we have an experienced commentator doing camera, as he is. I don't know what's happening. Well, we have one of our new members, Brody Mason, here in the booth. He's going to be joining us in these next couple weeks. He might as well hop on. And you mind doing camera for us, Brody?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts about that play, Brody?
I think they're going to keep on running the QB if she gets yards. Yep.
Look at that. That one broken up.
Nice one, deflected, yeah.
It appears that was Natalie Lapointe who broke that one up. Numbers are small. Tough to see up from here, Brody, but that's incomplete pass.
Yeah.
Still second and about 14 here. They got to get to the midfield, a.k.a. the 40, as here comes Killian. He's back in the booth with us, and so is Caroline. Thank you so much, Brody. We had a little cycle of color commentators there in the absence of our few. So, guys, you missed a couple plays here. Couple QB sneaks. That last one incomplete.
Okay, turn me up.
Welcome you back. Sorry for the audio issues once again, but appears there's a miscommunication here. I thought that was a sack, quote-unquote sack, if you will. Here, she pulled the flag when she was farther back, but I guess they're gonna call it a complete pass, but no gain on that one. The flag was pulled at exactly the line of scrimmage. Whistle blown here. This might be a false start.
And I think
Jack, our rules analyst, is looking at the refs to see what signal they call. What'd you see, Jack, there?
I think that might have been a false start.
Jack's thinking it's a false start here.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going back 5, so that's going to be a false start. Thank you so much, Jack.
No problem.
Yeah, Syracuse East coach appears to be confused. He definitely does not agree with the call, but it looks like it'll go back.
Yeah, so here we're going to get a long 3rd and 20 from the 20-yard line. So need to make it all the way to midfield in order to complete this first down.
What do you do
So a
in
little bit of a
situation like this?
Right, a little bit of a setback. It seems like, she tries to hand it off. That's going to
not
be
what you're supposed to
considered
do.
incomplete, as that was a little side pass. It's 4th down. Let's see what Syracuse East decides to do. I mean, they're up by a point. I would punt it in this case. Oh, so I think they're considering that. Huh.
No, they're not. There we go.
All right, but
Now they've changed it.
it appears they're technically considering it a fumble, though. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe because it was like a backwards pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're considering that a
good.
fumble. So that kind of answers your question from earlier, Killian. What happens with... They are going to punt it, and they're going to get... It might have been better just to... Oh, man, that's quite the trip up. They're going to throw a flag on that one. think that's going to be a legal contact of some sort.
She almost broke through there too. Jeez.
Let's see what the refs call on this one.
It was a pretty short punt. That was only about 15 yards, I would say.
Yeah,
from
so
the
it
line
might
of scrimmage. So good field position for the North Stars.
Let's see what the refs are calling here. North Stars are going to be gaining yards regardless. Just the question is, what's the call? How many yards are we getting? Looks like we're going to get about 10 from the spot of the foul. Again, that might have been some sort of... Oh, yep. Look like I think it's a legal contact of some sort.
Yeah, I think it's a legal contact.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I haven't seen
Yeah, it seemed like she had a little bit too much mustard on that. It's almost like she wanted to tackle her, but then she realized she couldn't.
What
and
were you trying to say?
What was I trying to say?
She had too much mustard.
Muster. You've never heard that saying
They said
before?
she had too much mustard.
No. All right,
oh.
now the North Star's back with it. Olivia Cook decides to keep it. She flips it over. Not quite sure who had it. Wow, what a play.
Oh no, they're marking her down.
They're marking her
right
just short, but I'm not quite sure who had that. I believe it was number 9, Alexa Belknap, if that's the case. It's tough to see some of these. Yes, that's going to be Alexa Belknap. Some of these numbers, they're just so tiny.
I know.
They're like ants up here in the booth. So apologize if we call any names wrong, but that is Alexa Belknap. I can confirm that. So what a flip. Olivia Cook's done a lot of trick plays so far. We've seen her have like 2, it looks like she's going to run it, and then she just flips it.
She's really versatile.
Wow. I mean, we saw that huge pass, 40-yard pass completion, and then we see that big play there to bring up second and goal for the North Stars.
Ooh, and there she goes again.
She takes off.
Ooh,
Flag.
and
There's a flag.
Flag pulled.
And
Flag
also
thrown.
Flag thrown.
No, I mean, the composition of these CNS trick plays have reminded me a lot of the composition of carbon dioxide. Now, Joey, what do you think about the composition of carbon dioxide?
What do I think about the carbon? It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful.
Composition of carbon dioxide.
The composition of carbon dioxide.
I personally think it's
Too much oxygen.
Yeah. Honestly, twice the oxygen.
Right. That's like unfair advantage for carbon. You know what I mean? That's why I like carbon monoxide. It's an even portion.
It's in all of our soda. I'm not a big soda person. I hate soda and I don't like fizzy drinks.
Wow.
But we wouldn't have fizzy drinks without carbon dioxide. If
Exactly.
you really think about it, I'm so thankful for carbon dioxide every single day.
So most likely, it's not a false start here, but something to do with the North Stars sending them 5 yards back. Flips it to Alexa Belknap. Can she make it all the way? She can.
Ooh.
Oh,
Let's
just
see if they'll mark
short.
her down.
Oh, wait. Oh, they got her.
Yeah.
They did.
That's the tough thing again about
Yeah.
flag, with tackle, when they're down because obviously they're down on the ground. But in this case, they pull the flag and sometimes they don't immediately throw it up. So here in the booth, we think that she made it in, not realizing that they pulled the flag early.
It's really hard to tell.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. That was all I had to say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the second time in this last 3 plays or so that Alexa Belknap's gotten right there.
Yeah.
And it's just had the flag pulled at the last second.
So 3rd and goal here for the North Stars. They're on about the 2-yard line. We'll see. No field goals, so they'll go for it if this ends up 4th down. They wanted to hand it off. Liv Cook throws an incomplete pass to the end zone. That one intended for, I believe, Natalie LaPointe. Or actually, no, that was Alexa Belknap. Again, it's tough up here. These numbers are so small. I'll bring my binoculars next time, guys.
4th down here now for the North Stars.
Question is, what do you do here? Do you run it? Do you do a little QB sneak with Liv Cook? It looks like we're going to get a timeout by Coach Maurizio.
I feel like that's a pretty wise decision.
That is a good decision. Down by 1, North Stars taking a timeout when we come back. Welcome you back. Here is 4th and goal upcoming for the North Stars. They're on about the 2-yard line. Bad snap. And she didn't even have a chance to recover it. They're just going to call it, I guess. So that kind of, again, answers our question, Killian. I guess a fumble just kind of, it's at the spot of the, of where it was last kind of touched, and it just sticks with the team unless, of course, in this case, it was a 4th down. But if that were a 2nd or 3rd down, it would have just sent them back. They wouldn't have had a chance to recover it. But yeah, so just a bad snap. High, but not the best field position here for Syracuse East. I mean, they only have about 7 to go on this first down.
That's one plus for CNS, I guess.
Right.
Like, coming out of this, that other team has horrible field position.
So far we've seen tons of explosive offense on both sides today, and I mean.
Oh, they really couldn't pull the flag there.
No, they were able to get it, but it looked.
Yeah.
But I mean, the only time we've seen like the defense be able to step up and stop the offense was on that last drive where Syracuse East was able to hold CNS on the 2-yard line and keep them out. So it's really been an offensively dominated game so far here, just over 10 minutes in.
I mean, we see 2 big explosive plays to start. You got that like 20, 30-yard pass from Cook to Cook, and then you have that huge QB keep for Syracuse East as they're going to dump this one off.
Oh, that's going to be a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag. If that were a tackle, that'd be a face mask there. It looked like she kind of grabbed her jersey, though. So that's going to be a legal tackle of some sort. That's going to be on the North Stars. Mackenzie Black, who had that reception there just past the line of scrimmage. She gained a couple yards, but they're going to get about 10 more tacked onto that one. After that,
you do not
a legal tackle. Yeah, it's tough, though, because, it's athletics. You're going to be physical, but in this one you can't be. So, yep, it looks like we're going to probably get about 10 more yards tacked on to the end of this one.
That hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, so only a gain of about 2 would have been just shy of or actually would have been enough for the first down. But, only a small gain for Syracuse East turns into a big 12-yard gain. North Stars in a tougher spot defensively. As she's still up, but flag pulled just before the first down marker. That one pulled by Juliana Manfredi.
A lot of quarterback sneaks going on here.
Yeah, we haven't seen many passes except for those couple short ones we saw from Tykai Baker of Syracuse East, and of course those big explosive plays by Elise Cook or Liv Cook to Elise Cook. One of those passes. So yeah, a lot of run option plays kind of going on, or the pressure getting to them, but there's not much pressure in flag football, although there's some pressure right there. That was some pretty good pressure, although she managed to escape it. She's still up. Nobody's grabbed her flag. She's still up. She's at the 20. She's at the 15. And finally, flag pulled by Avery Bradshaw for the North Stars. Actually, I believe that was Catalina Lawrence. Looks like we got an injury. So we'll take a timeout here on the North Star Network as Tykai Baker is tended to. Welcome you back as Tykai Baker, starting quarterback for Syracuse East, is limping off the sideline. First game of the season. We're not even 13 minutes left here in this first half, and she's already walking off the sideline. She's limping.
Yeah, you do not want to see that if you're Syracuse.
Now we don't have any positions. That's hopefully we'll see this improve in the future. A lot of sports stats aren't kept the best, but most sports here at the high school level, they keep stats pretty well. Let's hope that they start to keep stats and start tracking stuff a little bit better, because I do not have any positions, unfortunately, for Syracuse East players, so I can't tell you any backup quarterbacks, although we'll be able to tell you in just a few seconds whoever steps behind center. Got to pull out the monocular. And that's blurry, so I can't see.
Number 12, I believe.
12. Oh.
Ooh. Is that going to be a flag? I can't tell. I don't like how the flags on the belts are yellow and like
So
the referee flags are also yellow. They need to change the colors.
I know it's tough.
That's like my one criticism.
So we have an injured North Star now.
So we do not. There's not a number 12 on Syracuse East roster. So
No? Oh, maybe
No.
I,
is it 13 perhaps?
no, I think it's yeah.
All right. Well, look at that. So this is what I'm talking about. We don't have any. I don't have any positions for Syracuse East. No stats for Syracuse East or CNS, and numbers are inaccurate as well. So that's just the
looks
life
like-
of being a high school broadcaster. So
Looks like Syracuse Easton's starting quarterback's back
oh
out there.
yes, she's back out
and
there.
She looks like she's feeling better.
Yeah, she takes it all the way down, and that's touchdown
What
for
a
Syracuse
response.
East.
I mean,
She was mad about that injury. She's like, I got to
Really?
get out there. She just zips down the sideline and takes it all the way in for 6. As Syracuse East is now up 13-6
looks like she
to the North
is-
Stars.
She is A-okay. She wanted to state that.
So they'll go for 1 to take a 1-possession lead. Yeah, it seems like the North Stars run. It seems like their passing defense has been pretty solid. They've been able to break up some passes, minimize yards after catch. They're just not being able to. Oh, tries to dump that one off. It's intercepted. I think she can turn. Oh, I don't think they allow you to return it, I guess. But, well, I don't think it would have been a pick 6. I think it would have just been an extra point. We'll take a break here on the North Star Network on YouTube. All right. Welcome you back here.
Looks like there was a bad snap. I don't know what just happened.
So after the interception there on the 1-point conversion attempt, that was good. Good pressure by the North Stars defense that forced that interception. Almost would have been an incompletion, but the North Stars now, if they take it down, go for the extra point, they can tie this game up. So now 2nd down for the North Stars. Wow, she snuck by. I didn't even see that happen. So it looks like a first down here for the North Stars as they get just past the 20 to about the 23-yard line.
Picked up like 5 yards, just about.
Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, the North Stars, pass defense has been actually pretty solid. They've been able to break up some passes. They've been able to, pressure the QB, force some incompletions off of that, and they've been even been able to minimize the yard after catch. It's just been really the QB keeps and the scrambles that have been getting to them. So let's see what they do here. First down in about 20 or so.
Ooh.
Oh, pop that one off, but her
wow.
flag was pulled behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's a tough call. I mean,
Yeah.
Did she pass it before?
Right,
the
that was
flag
tough.
pulled?
Can we get a replay on that? Our
get a replay.
producer, Alex Schneible, will pull that up for us. Let's see if she pulled that flag. See, they don't have that down there, so it's tough to tell. Loss of about
Let's
5 on the
see.
play.
Oh,
No.
it's really close.
I
That's a
think she might have gotten it off, but
That's a tough one. So
Doesn't really matter anymore.
Right. Nonetheless, loss of 5 here for the North Stars. About 2nd and 14 or so.
Ooh.
Nice little quick pass. Just couldn't get anywhere. Stuck at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down. And about 14 for the North Stars. Or sorry, no, 24.
This is where the CNS offense has to begin to show that explosiveness that they had on that first drive off that big completion. They haven't really done much in that regard since.
Well, they've been, just quick, short passes, some handoffs. But other than that, they haven't been taking many risks.
Looks like Grace Villeneuve's taking the snap.
Syracuse East defense have been all over.
She launches that one low. As she's tapping herself, saying, "My bad, my bad."
Do you guys think that water's wet?
That's an interesting question.
I was just thinking about it.
What kind of water's wet? Oh, no, water is not wet. No.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think, Killian?
He doesn't know.
It's a deep question.
It's a deep question. He's going to have to think about it. We'll get back to you in the second half of action. I do not know who took that punt, but that was a pretty solid punt.
Ooh.
As sends Syracuse East to about the 39-yard line. So they're going to be in their offensive territory at about midfield. So pretty good starting position for Syracuse East, as they'll have first down in about 19 to go.
Yeah, it's a good punt there for North Stars Carolina. How long would you say that was?
How long?
It was probably a solid 20 yards or so.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, again, not really accustomed to how long like punts and stuff are here.
Well, I mean, Mia Soto Perez used to hit like 30-yard punts, so.
She had an arm and a leg.
She did.
She was versatile.
Nonetheless, solid punt.
Yeah.
Definitely compared to the one we saw from Syracuse East
You gotta
earlier.
watch for a false start here, down to 1 second on the play
Uh-oh.
clock, and they don't get it off.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a false start. Yep. So.
Oh, it's a timeout.
Oh.
They got a timeout off.
Wow.
Wow, lucky. So Syracuse East going to take a timeout. Just manages to evade the false start. We'll take a break as both teams talk things over. Welcome you back here. As we know, the Syracuse East managed to take a timeout before that delay a game, but the North Stars decide to make him perhaps lose. I don't know if they moved the chains back a little bit there, so I think they lost perhaps a yard. If not, they did not gain any. So it's going to be about 2nd and 19 once again. North Stars a quick stop, as we know their run defense has been struggling so far. They did a pretty solid job this time. See that QB sneak?
Works every
Oh
time.
wow! Great grab, but it looks like we got an injured North Star.
Noticing that there's a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I mean they don't have any padding.
Yeah.
No helmets, nothing. It looks like they're still down. They're back up. Back up. So it was Piper Adams who pulled the flag on that play, and she's also the one walking off with that injury. But nonetheless, that was a great grab. The North Stars, as we know, have been struggling on those like QB sneaks, QB keeps, and they did a great job there minimizing the yards. They only got about 3 on that one, setting up 3rd and about 16, 17. For Syracuse East, so 3rd and long.
Yeah, it was definitely.
And false start, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, false start.
We had a lot of scoring at the beginning of the game, but it's starting to definitely calm down. Just the offenses can't really get much going.
Other than those 2 first explosive plays, the big pass by Olivia Cook and then that big run by Taikai Baker, other than that, it's just been a pretty much offensively stagnant, rest of this first half. we're more than halfway done, and still a pretty good score, 13-6. But the North Stars looking for a break here on defense, and they get one here as Syracuse East is forced to an even longer third down, about 3rd and 22 or so. Hey, that should be a penalty right there, kicking the ball. No, I'm joking. So 3rd and quite a ways here for Syracuse East. They're going to be forced to most likely throw it, although
Nope.
Ty Baker takes it all the way, but
Looks like.
she takes it past the line of scrimmage, but
Yep.
luckily the North Stars there to keep them at the 35-yard line. So we'll see what they decide to do. I mean, they're on the other half of the field, so worst case scenario, the North Stars are just behind midfield. You might set the North Stars back maybe 10, 15 more yards if you punt it, but if you go for it, they have not the greatest field position, but not the not the best field, or not the best field position, but not the worst field position either. So it's kind of in the middle. So it looks like they're going to go for it. Yep, Ty Baker in the pocket. She dumps it off.
Pretty good pass.
Oh, wow, they get the first down. Oh, my God. So the risk to go for it on about 4th and 18 or so, 4th and 13, pays off, as what a nice dump pass. She felt that pressure in the pocket. There's not much of a pocket to collapse, but, the pocket that was there, it was starting to collapse. And, she felt the pressure, and just before she got past the line of scrimmage, she dumped it off, and they got the run after catch for the first down. All right, good run defense by the North Stars, minimizing gain on that one, as it appears Piper Adams is back in the game. She gets that flagpole for the North Stars and minimizes the yards on that one for Syracuse East to just a couple.
CNS's defense played really solid ever since that initial first couple of drives where Syracuse East was able to run down and score. So we'll see if that continues, but their defense has been able to figure
great
out.
defense by the North Stars as they get a quote-unquote sack. I don't know, do we call it that? I mean, they're not really sacking the QB, but yeah.
I think it's technically called a sack. So
Yes.
I think we can confidently say it's a sack.
All right, so
Not a quote-unquote sack.
all right.
It's a sack.
Great sack by the North Stars there for a loss of 3, bringing it to exactly the 20-yard line, 3rd and 20, 3rd and goal from the 20. As if Syracuse East doesn't get this one in the end zone, they're going to either be forced to punt it, which most likely won't happen based on what we saw earlier on that 4th down. Looks like she's just going to keep it. Ty Baker, as the North Stars managed to pull the flag at about the 10-yard line. So it's going to set up 4th and goal at about let's call it the 12. So they'll most likely go for it, but can the North Stars stop them? They were unsuccessful defensively on 4th down last time, but
Gotta go for it.
right?
Yeah, this is a long 4th down. As long as CNS can contain the quarterback, they should be able to get the stop here, judging by what Syracuse East has done all game. They've just been running with the quarterback, so as long as they're able to commit a couple of players to just stopping that run, they should have no problem here, but we will see.
13-6, and 4 minutes or so left. She dumps it off. Can the North Stars pull the flag
Looks like
before
they
the goal
did.
line? They can. So stop at the 5-yard line. That's a turnover on downs. North Stars going to get it back
But they're going to
at
have
about the 12-yard.
horrible
Oh, so they
field
get it where they pull the ball, or where they pull the flag. So that's
Oh.
different than that's not in our rule book. So we're learning something new every day here on the North Star Network. This is a new sport for all of us. Most fans probably didn't even know that at home. So there you go. So 4th down stoppage, wherever the ball carrier last was when the flag was pulled, is where the North Stars get the ball back. So they're on the 5. So that they're within their own 5. They only need about 15 here to get the first down. But not the best field position, but they got enough time.
Yeah, we'll see if they maybe try to go deep here on this first play. I mean, why not? It's 1st down. Might as well take a.
Oh, she does take the shot deep.
Oh, I thought it was, but he intercepted.
Almost intercepted. Looks like we got a flag thrown.
And they're moving back.
Not quite sure what that was on. Roughing the passer, it looks like. Jack seems to think it was roughing the passer, but we'll see based on where they placed the ball. So it's a replay of downs.
Interesting.
Ref signaling first down.
The scoreboard here says second down.
Huh. While the line judge has not changed the second down or the marker, they're going to move forward. So it was obviously a defensive penalty here, and they're gaining 10. So my best guess would be roughing the passer.
That was a good chunk of yardage there.
And my best guess would be roughing the passer. I mean, did you see, Jack, did you see much contact after the ball was thrown on that one?
No, I didn't.
All right, Jack's saying he did not see much contact, but perhaps pass interference of some sort. Not 100% sure. They're going to have to go quick. They got 6 seconds. 2, 1. You got to snap it now. They do. Cook decides to flip it. Look at that.
Gosh.
What a move. She gets the first down. And more. So the North Stars brought down at the 30.
That was a cool play.
That was a nice play.
That was really cool.
We've seen a lot of those from Liv Cook. That time she flips it over to Amanda Timmons, who is a wide receiver.
She did that so nonchalantly.
I know, and I think that's the trick. We've seen 3 or 4 of those plays today, just in this first half alone, that have been successful for the North Stars. And I think it's exactly, you think she looks like she's just going to take it all the way herself, but no, I mean, she doesn't even look. She just flips it to her side. Defense not expecting it. That's why you got this blown coverage.
She's got tricks up her sleeve.
Oh, she was going to flip it that time. Flag pulled at about the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a yard. Yep, we're going to call it a loss of a yard here.
Yeah, defense was definitely expecting it that time. I mean, how many times has she done that today?
Right.
It's been a lot, and so the defense was absolutely ready for it, and they were able to provide the proper coverage to stop.
About 2 minutes left.
So we're about the 2-minute warning here. I don't think there's a 2-minute warning. No, okay, never mind. Clock's still running.
Not, to be honest.
As it was not an incomplete pass, clock still runs. So 146, 145 here.
North Star's about 10 yards out from the first down marker, and the whiteboard just fell off of the whiteboard.
Oh, wow, what a trick play.
More trickery.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's intercept.
No, that was incomplete.
Oh, jeez, I thought it was intercepted.
Almost intercepted.
It's like that was intended for Olivia Cook herself.
Yeah, that was Arya Tular.
It's Arya Tuller.
Tuller, sorry. Thank you, Killian. It looks like she was the one. Now, that was like a Lions play right there. Detroit Lions come to CNS. That reminds me of the play Commanders intercepted during the NFC divisional round. Yep. I was actually at a bar with a bunch of Lions fans.
Ooh.
And I got to tell you, the first score they had, they were like just in our faces. And then once we won, man, it got quiet in there real quick.
That had to feel really good.
It did. Oh, wow, another one. Okay, this one, it didn't trick them, or did trick them, but they...
Only for 5 yards.
Right, only for 5 yards, so not a first down, forcing the North Stars to either punt or go for it on fourth.
Gotta go for it.
Yeah, it's fourth and 4 here.
Yeah, but now the clock begins to become a factor. You got 1:10 left.
You do have a timeout, so you could take one of those.
Can you spike the ball in flag?
I do not know, but you might as well take... Oh, you get a turnover if you spike the ball, right? Yep. Oh, yeah, because even if this were an NFL, if you were to spike the ball on fourth down, it would be a turnover on downs as well. So we'll take a break here on the North Star Network as both teams talk things over. Welcome you back here on the North Star Network. 1:04 left to play. North Stars down by 7. They got it 4th and 4 at about the 36-yard line.
It's like, I think they're going to go deep for this one.
We'll see.
Oh,
Looks like Cook. She flips it, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. This time unsuccessful, as that flip was intended for number 25, Shanra Burton Sledge.
Now the North Stars, they keep running these flip plays, and
You got to think eventually Syracuse East is going to
Yeah.
expect it.
As cool as they are, like, you know, it gets a little predictable.
Although I will say Amanda Timmons was taking them most of the time, and they switched up the player who was doing it. Maybe they thought that was going to confuse them, but unsuccessful nonetheless. So clock still running, 55 seconds left. Syracuse East is going to have to act quick. Reminder, North Stars get the ball after our halftime intermission. Dumps that one off. Good defense run after catch for the North Stars, minimizing maybe a yard after the catch.
looks like she didn't get out of bounds either. So
No, that was Natalie Lapointe with that snatch of the flag. It's going to be 2nd and about 7 as the
30
clock's still running.
seconds. Syracuse East has a timeout if they want to take it, but it looks like they're going to try to get one more play in.
Maybe
That
get the
take
first
it.
down. Yeah, maybe get the first down before they take their timeout.
They got to hurry up.
They
though.
got to hurry up, yeah. Baker takes it.
Oof.
Flagpole just at the
Second
line.
Flag. It looked like that was a little aggressive.
But it looked like maybe she ran into her more, so I don't see a flag out on the field. So it looks like we got a timeout with 12.4 seconds left. Yep, Syracuse East going to take a timeout with 12.4 left. They're up 13-6. They're on the 20-yard line. We'll see what they decide to do. Are they going to play conservative and let the clock run, or are they going to try to get a score within 12 seconds? We'll be right back on the North Star Network on YouTube. Ready? 3, 2, 1. We welcome you back here on the North Star Network on YouTube as 12.4 seconds left. Syracuse East first and goal from the 20. Looks like she dumps it off.
Looks like
incomplete.
They can
8.2 though, so clock
use
stops
one
after.
more.
Yeah.
Now, in flag football, are they allowed to continue the play after the 0-second mark?
I think so.
I'd
Is
assume so.
yeah, until the ball is dead. It's going to continue. That pass was intended for Paige Frazier. As it looks like no pull of the flag there. Baker taking it.
I thought she pulled it.
Oh man, nobody was able to
she's
pull
gonna
it.
Touch.
Oh
that
no,
one? Oh no, she
they
got it
pulled the
right there.
flag. Yeah.
Almost.
So Syracuse East unable to strike before half, as it looks like that was Haley Dupra.
And she is very happy
Yes.
about that.
Exactly, preventing any further scoring before half of Syracuse East. So the North Stars down by 7 at half. They'll receive the ball when we come back in just a few moments.
And we are back here on the North Star Network on YouTube. So 13-6 Syracuse East after that first half. Joey and Caroline, what did you guys think of that?
I'll let you go first, Caroline. That was an exciting first half, I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was a pretty solid half. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think both teams definitely had to adjust. I think they're now very well adjusted. But I mean, obviously you started with some very explosive plays, and I mean, I'm really excited to watch the second half based off on what we saw in the first half. I mean, Olivia Cook and her trick plays like that.
Yeah.
That gets me excited.
They could drop some different ones. I mean, we saw that like Detroit Lions style one. You know, you had that little QB keep, then she flipped it to the left, and then I think it was who did we say? I don't remember exactly who it was, but she was behind as QB technically. You know, she flipped it, and then it was that little trick play. Unsuccessful, unfortunately, but most of them have been. You know, some of these little flip plays.
Are you ready?
As
It
here we are back.
certainly shows the potential, though, of what this team has and could be.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Cook takes a snap. Fakes a handoff, throwing,
Oh, wow,
looking.
what a pass.
Ooh,
It's
my-
caught, and a first down for the North Stars, and the flag will be pulled. That's number 1, Haley Dupra there on the reception. Give her about, what'd you say, 9 yards?
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
about.
That was a nice bullet. That had some gusto to it. Look at that. Let's watch that pass again. Look at that. Just a nice
that was
find.
beautiful.
That was a dime. You know, accuracy was on point on that one. Just had the right amount of speed behind it. Put it out of harm's way. Just nice little slant.
Satisfying.
Nice little go slant route there.
Snap to Cook. She'll hold on to it, and she'll rush forward and break through one, but unable to break through the second as that flag is pulled.
She got maybe 1 yard.
Yeah, I think she just barely got past the line of scrimmage on
Yeah.
that one. Yep, they're going to give her about a yard.
So, second down here for the North Stars. North Stars setting up a play. They got about 15 seconds to get everything together and take the snap. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. And snap, handoff, and it's flipped over.
flip.
And here go the North Stars. It's Alexa Belknap, and its flag will be pulled.
That's the tough thing also about flag. It's arguably, you know, for like run after catch or, just running plays in general, you almost have to have much more skill than regular football because it's tough to evade, when, all they have to do is you just have to just breeze right by them, and if they can grab on your flag, then you're down, But for, tackle, at least you can still be right next to them and you can stiff arm them or push them out of the way or, hit them or something like that. But in this case, you have to be a little bit more quick and maneuverable in order to
Strategic.
get
Yeah.
out of the way of the flag.
That's the
Same
same
play.
flip play.
Yeah.
It looked like, if you don't mind me seeing the roster here, number 5, Grizel Pizarro for East Syracuse or Syracuse East. She was about the 35-yard line. It's like she didn't even realize that Alexa Belknap had the ball. It looked like she just completely forgot. I don't know. Maybe the deception there by Olivia Cook and Belknap on that nice handoff. Perhaps that that led to some confusion there, leading to that breakdown in coverage.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Snap is not taken yet.
Sends a receiver in
They
motion.
picked me up. And there's a throw. Pass comes up, and it's
Oh.
dropped.
Complete.
She had it there.
That one was a little bit high, but other than that, it was pretty much dead on. Just great pass. Just unable to corral it in was Haley Dupra. Again, a little high, but she had her hands on it, and it had the accuracy there. Laterally, just a little high, but I think she still could have snagged that one out of the air.
A solid drive for the North Stars so far. Here is the snap, receiver motioning, and it's a handoff to Belknap again. This time they're ready for it, and they'll get
Yeah.
her for a loss of 2.
Looks like they kind of pick a play and they kind of just do that a bunch of times in a
Sometimes-
row.
but sometimes, even if like it works the first time, doesn't work the second time. Sometimes it works the third time. They change
third
it up.
time's a charm.
Right, they change it up slightly each time that it's enough that it can, they change the player they're handing it off to, they change the direction they're handing it off to, or they change the way they flip it, and that can just lead to enough confusion.
Here's the snap to Cook. One receiver motioning. Cook, the handoff, and now here come the North Stars trying to break through. Flag pull, the gain of about 3. Number 5, Amanda Timmons with the carry. And this will be 4th down according to the yep, there we go. Got confirmation because on the scoreboard it says 1st down, but the line judge says 4th.
So about like 4th and 9 or so here. North Star is definitely going to go for it. Question is, what kind of play do they have designed here? Are they going to go for a pass? Are they going to try one of those trick plays that they seem to be good with?
Now, as long as the North Stars can hold on to the ball, they've had success passing today, so we'll see if they go that route. Cook motioning a receiver. Snap taken. And Cook will pass it. It is
There we
caught.
go. First down.
First down and more. Dupra gets by 2
Man.
and has her flag pulled, and she's tripped up, but not before getting a gain of about, I'd say around 15, 16 yards there.
Something like that.
Yeah, Liv Cook, I mean, she's just so poised in the pocket, She doesn't let her and the thing is sometimes the pressure gets to her, then she starts to run, and then on the fly, she just makes up plays. She just flips it to her right, flips it to her left, or takes it herself and finds gaps. And in this case, a little bit of pressure gets to her, but she just gets that quick completion on that little slant route, and easy first down, 16-yard gain for the North Stars.
And Cook will flip this one off, and that's brought into the
They were prepared for that one.
Yeah.
brought inside or just outside the 10 actually.
I know you're seeing the 20, and you're like, I got to make sure I'm saying it right. That's the tough part. You just got these little cones on the sideline telling us where the markers are. Yeah, just outside of the 10, about the 12-yard line here.
Charlie Johnson, the snapper for the North Stars. Snap is taken. Cook will immediately run, flips it off, and she gets by 1, but the flag pulled. That was close. If the flag wasn't pulled there, that would have been a surefire touchdown, but the North Stars are stopped at around the 5.
I thought she had it there.
They'll mark her at the 6. Or excuse me, the 7. So
3rd and goal here for the North Stars.
it would not surprise me if the North Stars try to go back to the air here. They've had a successful air game so far.
Yeah, again, I wish I knew our stats. Liv Cook might have had like a 200-yard game for a touchdown last time. We just don't know. This game for sure, she's had.
Ooh, it's
And
tipped.
the pass comes up, and it's nearly intercepted.
Yeah, was that tipped, Caroline? Did
That
you
was
see?
tipped. I'm
Alright,
pretty
yeah.
sure. Maybe we should get a replay on that.
Yeah.
Replay.
Might have been deflected before the snap came up. A dangerous play there by for the North Stars. Nearly picked off in the end zone.
Yeah, it was tipped.
It was tipped just at the line of scrimmage there. Almost intercepted. Ooh.
Good defense by Syracuse East.
Definitely.
North Stars get a break, though, there. Had that not have been tipped, though, I think that could have made it to the corner of the end zone.
Oh, absolutely.
Question is, that might have been a tough catch.
4th and goal. The snap. Receiver motioning in from the left. Throw from Cook. Caught.
Look at that.
Can they get in?
Oh,
And-
she might be just short.
Oh, man.
Oh,
are they saying?
it's close.
Let's get a replay here on the North Star Network. If only we...
Oh, they said just shy.
And they were going to rule that
see
she
the
was
replay.
shy.
Nice little slant route. Gets it in. She was in.
Yeah.
She was in. Man, she had the ball over the line. If only they had access to our replay system here in the booth.
That's something they need. They need an instant replay.
Mr. Vanette, our scoreboard operator, is giving me the look over there. It's whatever they see on the sideline.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, so wait. Oh no.
No, they got the
Yeah, so they're going to be
Syracuse
back
got
on
the
the
ball.
goal line practically here.
Oh, and QB rush here. Oh.
Wow, the flag
And
wasn't
the
pulled
flag
yet.
wasn't able to get
Oh
pulled
my
out.
God, flag
And-
still isn't pulled.
Oh, my God.
And now here goes
Oh my
Syracuse
gosh.
East. She's still on her feet. She'll run down to the 40.
And
he
she's
breaks
still
through more.
going.
She's still
There's no
going.
way.
What did they do to her
There's
flag?
zero
They super glued those flags.
What
Wow.
the heck?
That was either some super glue magic or that was just great running.
79-yard touchdown.
Touchdown Syracuse East. I cannot believe it I just saw.
That was not real. They were swarming her like wasps.
79-yard touchdown. Wow.
Now they haven't added it to the... Oh, there we go.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, my God.
She had there were so
They
many
had to-
defenders on her,
I
and
know, and
none
they
of them
Could
were
pull
able.
the flag.
You know, I'm gonna say this right now though.
They super
I
glued 'em.
I
Kidding.
learned
Joking.
I learned last semester how hard it is to actually pull these flags because I did elementary games in gym, and we had to do this we had to pull. I don't know, it was this game where you had to pull flags off people's belts or whatever to get them out, and it really is honestly not an easy feat to pull these flags. I'm not even gonna lie.
No.
But then again, we weren't playing flag football, so we weren't distracted by the fact we had to run to get a touchdown. But
So, wow, what a play. 79-yard touchdown. QB keep. That's her second of the day for Ty Baker. Second rushing touchdown of the game, as a matter of fact. She's got easily over 100 rushing yards
oh, absolutely,
on the game.
She's impressive.
Yes.
And this is a point where I think the clock's going to start to become a factor. You got 16:48. The clock does move a lot in flag football.
It does. It does.
Down 2 possessions.
See what the North Stars can do. I mean, are they going to start off in the air here? We'll see.
Well, I think all we know is that they need a touchdown here.
All right, Liv Cook.
Oh!
Takes it. Oh, she
She
gets the handoff.
Oh!
Oh, they finally got the flag. Pulled at about the 30-yard line. Wow. Liv Cook, I mean, she just has such a knack for
Knack.
I love that word. I love
Knack.
that word, knack. She just has such a knack and ability to think quick on her feet. Like in that case, she was all knotted up right around the line of scrimmage, and I didn't even see it. And she just gets a quick pass off or handoff to Meadow Wirtz, and Meadow Wirtz takes it for about 15 yards.
Well,
In this case, Belknap, she takes it down the sideline. She's still up. Nobody's pulled her flag yet.
They
Eventually do. Is a huge gain for Belknap and the North Stars. Get to about the 25, 26-yard line here.
Well, I mean, Olivia Cook, as you were saying, she is an athlete. This isn't her.
Right, exactly.
This isn't her first sport.
It's in her first rodeo.
She's played. I mean, I know she plays basketball. I don't know. I
Right.
forgot if she plays any others, but she.
Ain't her first rodeo.
Right, exactly. She knows what she's doing.
Right, she knows how to draw up these plays, especially considering basketball. In this case, she just knows how to think quick on her feet. And that has worked in her favor, especially on some of these big plays like these last couple ones. This time she decides to keep it. The flag is pulled just at the line of scrimmage.
Jeez.
To bring up second and about 6.
I was gonna say,
Second about 7, actually.
if she hadn't pulled that flag, that she really bursted there.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Again, that's the tough thing about this. You gotta find your way around those defenders much more than in tackle, because in tackle you can just run right through them, but in flag here you have to you got to be a little bit more quick around those defenders. Here comes the snap for Cook. She got a little bit of a go route, and here's a false start. All right. False start on the North Stars, as that sets them back about 5. Not what they were looking for. So it's about 2nd and 12.
Definitely not what they want right now.
No.
trying to get a touchdown this drive. Absolutely need a touchdown this drive, most likely.
Yeah, you gotta get the momentum back.
Mm-hmm.
As Brody Mason, our camera operator right now, he's saying you got to get that momentum back in your favor, you know. Sends a receiver in motion. Hands it off to Timmons. I thought she did. Oh, wow, what a pass.
Right through the hands of Grace Villeneuve.
Villeneuve just couldn't corral that one. That was an accurate bullet. Right on the money from Olivia Cook. Just Villeneuve couldn't keep it. Right, we need a little bit of a cook-to-cook connection as Jack Mannion, who's our spectator in the booth today. I mean, while he was doing camera, we got a little switch in camera. Brody Mason, our newest member of the North Star Network, getting in some practice. You'll more than likely hear him on the broadcast in the next coming weeks. He'll be doing some camera, a little bit of everything. Nice to have a versatile player. We got receiver in motion. Sets a screen.
Oh.
Timmons going to try to take it down the sideline, and the flag is pulled about 5 yards just before about five before the line of gain. Actually, they're going to call it about 7. So they regain the yards lost on that false start, but sends it back to the 4th and 7. Now, even if you would see them go for it, even in the first half if it was 0-0, but now more than ever they're going to go for it down by 13, the North Stars.
There's almost a must get here for the North Stars. Yeah. I mean, you give Syracuse East the ball back and they go down and score. You're looking at a really significant deficit. Now, I'm not going to try to do the math in my head, but it will make things very hard.
Motion.
Definitely not good.
Cook looks. She's going to take it down the sideline. Oh! She gets the first down. She tight ropes down the sideline.
Oh.
She's got the touchdown. Wow.
Okay.
Yes. They're calling it a touchdown.
As they should.
What? Wow. That's some moves by Olivia Cook. She's got a passing and rushing touchdown here today.
Syracuse Easton thinks that they may have gotten her right before she entered the end zone, but I saw
somebody pull the flag. That was way after.
Oh, yeah, it looks like she definitely got it after.
What footwork. She just tightrope that sideline.
It's like we said, she's an athlete.
Exactly.
She knows what she's doing.
So they're going
she's got all the talent.
So it appears they are going for. Are they going for 3 here?
No, it looks like.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. They were lined up back there, so they're gonna go for 1.
Yes.
But they were farther back in their little huddle, and I thought that's where they were starting off. So she dumps it off.
That was a perfect play.
That was a great pass.
That was a perfect play.
As Cook gets it off to Haley Dupra for an extra point.
Cook is cooking.
Cook is cooking for sure. She had that big touchdown pass in the first half, and then she scored the 2-and-low touchdowns here for the North Stars. Both that rushing QB keep and that one receiving or passing touchdown. So the North Stars should be up. Oh, no, they went for the 1. All right, so North Stars up by 6. Not up by 6. They went up by 6.
Down by 6.
They're down by 6. I mean,
but they also just gained 6 points.
Right, their score went up by 6 is more what I meant to say. So the North Stars down by 6 with 12:38 left to go. Syracuse City gonna. Looks like even the refs don't know where to put the ball.
Paying attention to the scouting report.
Yeah, I guess they haven't been reading their rules either.
They're just as clueless about the rules as we are.
Right.
They're just winging all these calls.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know. I think this is where the ball goes. Oh, yep. Oh, my God. They really don't know where to put this ball. I thought it looked a little bit farther back earlier when the North Stars started their first drive of the second half. I don't know. We're just as clueless here on the North Star Network. A lot of traffic in front near the line of scrimmage. They're going to gain about 1 on the play. It looks like we got an injured Syracuse East player. We'll take a break here on the North Star Network as she is tended to. welcome you back as that injured player for Syracuse East is helped off the sideline. Baker is going to take it herself.
Ooh.
Flag is pulled. She does get the first down, however, as she just gets past about 2 yards past the 20-yard line. Takes it down the sideline.
CNS players are running over each other to get those flags.
Couple substitutions here for the North Stars. Nonetheless, first down, Syracuse East. Clock is running, so the North Stars need a crucial stop here. I mean, now, again, we don't know 100% sure how fumble. We really haven't seen necessarily true fumbles here for flag football, so we're not quite sure how those will work. So they could use an interception
looking
here.
to throw, but now she's running.
They can't pull her flag.
Oh, no, they did.
They
all
did.
the way back towards the
About
30.
the 28 or so.
Yeah.
Yep, so she's going to go about the 28-yard line, 27. Yep, 27-yard line, so about 13 to go here on second down for Syracuse East. Got to get to midfield in order to move the chains. Thank you so much for joining us here on the North Star Network on YouTube. Forgot to mention it earlier, but please leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the live chat. Got that pulled up as Killian will be taking a peek at those if they pop up. Answer any of those questions you have. We'll try to answer them the best we can. As Baker launches that one about 5 yards or so. Flag pulled, luckily, just before, about 4 yards before the first down line to gain. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 4. North Stars really need to stop here. Now you wonder, if they get an incompletion here, 4th and 4, do you go for it? You give the North Stars pretty solid field position. If you go for it and it's incomplete, or you're not able to get that 4th down, or do you punt it? You're up by 6. As we get a false start.
Ooh.
Yeah, false start. So that's going to send it back 5. 3rd and 9. Now for Syracuse East.
Syracuse East coach not happy about that call.
Neither are the players. They're confused. It looked like one of the receivers went in motion just a little bit too quickly. She wasn't moving in motion to check the defense. She was more, starting her route a little bit soon, I noticed. Sometimes it's just hard to time everybody together, but just wait for the snap. Shouldn't get it, but false start nonetheless, setting them back 5. Now you got to think now if it's incomplete or if they don't gain much on this one, they might punt it up by 6. Got to hope their defense makes a stand. As here comes Syracuse East. That's incomplete.
Pass.
So now a decision for Syracuse East. It's 4th down and 9 to go. Do they punt it or do they go for it to try to keep this drive alive? What do you guys think? What would you do if you're in Syracuse East's shoes? I mean, you're up by 6. You got to hope that your defense does their job, or perhaps, North Stars score quickly and you have a chance to come back and score again because we got 9:43 left.
I think they're going to go for it here.
Looks like they're going for it, but
yeah.
What would you guys have done in this situation?
I think if we had a reliable punter, I would punt it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would go for it. I mean, you wasted more time. Can they get the
can
flag?
they flag?
Oh, they
No.
can't. Oh, now they can,
They
but
can't
not in
after
time.
the
First
4th
down.
down. Oh my God! Wow. Seeing tackle, she would have been down most likely. She had like 2-3 people on her. Just nobody could pull the flag. Nobody could really get their handling on the flag.
Looks like that's something that CNS is going to have to work on, getting these flags pulled.
Right. So 9:04 left. Syracuse East with a fresh set of downs as they take the risk to go for it on 4th and 9 at around midfield. That pays off as they convert the 4th down. Keep this drive alive. Let this clock chew. She's going to keep it. Minimal gain, though. Great snag.
It's about 5 yards. Just about.
About 5 yards on that.
Give or take.
Well, the longer Syracuse East is able to stretch this drive, the better, because, I mean, they're just wasting tons of time now. They're already winning. So, CNS, I mean, the longer their defense stays out on the field, it's going to make it much harder for the North Stars to be able to go down the field and score, especially if they get a turnover on downs, because then they're going to be pinned pretty deep in.
I got to tell you, this looks a little bit. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Charlotte Raymond getting in
Potential
there.
sack here.
No.
Oh,
Interception? No.
Oh,
Incomplete pass,
dropped it.
though. Brings up third down. Now, this game is a
Brought
little
the
bit
pressure.
reminiscent of our last Syracuse East game. As we know, the North Stars were down by they were down by 7. 20. Now, the score was a little bit different, but they were down 20 to 13. They decided to go for 2 on that extra point, and it was successful, as we know, with like 5 seconds left in the second half, and that led to that victory versus Syracuse East the last time these two teams met. So again, score a little bit reminiscent of that. See if they can do that again. I mean, maybe not as close. That was a nail biter for sure.
Absolutely.
Nonetheless, great breakup by the North Stars. As that brings up third down. They get her for loss.
Nope.
Oh, she's still up. Wow, what a fake.
And might be another touchdown here. Oh, nope.
Oh, let's get a replay on
First
that
down.
because
Wow.
I thought somebody else had it. Wow, that was an excellent fake.
She didn't fake me for some reason. Let's see.
Let's watch that again. See. Oh, yeah. See, I
Yeah.
thought she had it right there. Yep. I did not see the handoff behind the line of scrimmage. Nonetheless,
She
they
did
get
not.
the first down.
She did not April Fool's me.
She April Fools me.
Time continuing to tick here.
Yep.
Not looking good for CNS.
They got to hurry up. 5 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they're pretty darn close to that
There
end
we
zone
go.
there.
They get the pass off. Good minimal gain there after the catch.
At this point, you can almost afford to take a delay of game, though.
Right. I mean that chews the clock a little bit more, but right, exactly. I mean, you're second down here. You got about 12 to go before the end zone. We'll see what Syracuse East decides to do. Most likely, looks like we got a false start,
On Syracuse East.
but I don't know why they reset the down marker. Line judge. It doesn't seem like they're sending them back, but the line judge still has first down on his marker. See if he changes that, but that's going to send Syracuse East back 5. So a little bit not what they wanted here. That's for sure. It says first down on the sideline. I don't know. They just did get the first down. Never mind. It's my fault. I see second down on the board. That's what. Wow, what a
Pretty good stop there.
yeah, that was
Maybe
a great
gain
stop by Arniana Welsh.
like 2 yards or so.
Yeah, she minimized that run play to just 2 or so. Great snatch.
That is kind of how Syracuse East is thriving right now, though. They're getting very minimal yardage, but they're keeping the clock ticking.
Exactly.
Um,
Now 5:36 left to go, and the North Stars, they're
right.
still down by a possession. So
They've had to be on the. They've probably been on the field for like a good 10 minutes. It feels like.
fumble.
Fumble. Okay.
So
That was pretty
no
anticlimactic fumble.
So it appears fumble stays with the team, the offensive team.
That's interesting.
I feel like they should have an opportunity to recover it, but I feel like that would lead to injuries perhaps, and that's probably what they don't want, like people trying to fight for the ball. But they lose yards on that one after that fumble.
Yeah,
Clock is still ticking though.
this is now 3rd and 24 to the goal line.
Exactly. So they got to get a touchdown here. 24 yards they need.
They got
Looks
2.
like they're gonna.
Launch it and
They pull the flag, so it's gonna bring up 4th and 15. They got to get it into the end zone.
Get it.
They're gonna have to go for it. I mean, there's really no point in punting.
I mean, normally 4th and 15 would be a worst case scenario, but in flag, anything can happen. We've seen this all game. From Syracuse East, they've been able to get random 79-yard touchdown runs. So really, no distance is considered a freebie for this North Star defense because Syracuse East, they're very capable of getting it.
Exactly. I mean, we saw them convert that long 4th down just a few moments ago on this very drive. With a lot of yards on that one. That was probably a 20-yard gain for about a 14-yard. For about a 14 yards to go. Liv Cook and Grace Villeneuve warming up, as we're going to get a timeout here by, I believe, Syracuse East. So we'll take a break here on the North Star Network as both teams talk things over on the sideline. Welcome you back is a big fourth down conversion here for Syracuse East. North Stars will be at about the 15-yard line if they cannot convert this fourth down. They cannot. So the North Stars get a turnover on downs, and they have the ball with 3:47 left, down by 1 score.
This is going to be tricky.
This is a nail-biter, folks. Reminds us of our last game. So the North Stars have a decent amount of time. They have 2 full timeouts, and they have 3:47 left on the clock.
They either need an explosive play, or they need to
Again,
make sure to stop the clock after every single play.
They got 2 timeouts.
Now, on the other hand, if they score quick enough,
that's true.
That opens the door for Syracuse East.
Right. So they can't be too quick. You got to leave not enough time on the clock for Syracuse East here, but you don't want to. All right, Alexa Belknap. She had the jet sweep.
I believe it is pronounced Belknap.
Oh yeah, it is. You know what? There's so many names that I think I'm like. You ever? You know what? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's okay, Joey.
I mean, that's
cases,
a hard name though.
It's those cases though where you're like, okay, I think
Grace
it's
Villeneuve's
pronounced this
snap.
way. Yeah, Grace Villeneuve taking the snap. No, you're good.
Just had to mention
She's gonna throw, left-handed throw.
That's intercepted.
That's gonna be intercepted.
Yeah.
That was just a high.
That was way
ball.
too high to not intercept.
Yeah, she just lofted that one. I mean, you got to either throw it too far, and you got to lead the receiver, or you got to throw it short. And that one just too much time in the air.
That might be game right there.
And that might be game. And the North Stars can't fumble it, and they're not going to throw it. So unless they can get a turnover on downs again, but that's going to be most likely improbable.
North Stars with 2 timeouts. However, if they give up a touchdown, it becomes a 2-score game. So they're going to have to play this extremely wisely here if they're even able to get the ball back. They do have the 2 timeouts, but the question is, are you going to want to stop the clock when you know you can?
Ideally they needed like an interception or something and to run it back.
Yeah. Great moves, but good flagpole.
Looks like
by Sledge.
I assume they're going to run the rest of the time, though.
Most likely. Looks like we got a timeout. We'll take a break here on the North Star Network on YouTube. Welcome you back as here comes second down for Syracuse East. The North Stars really, Caroline was talking about it during the break. They're most likely going to run it here. So, they're not going to get an interception, so they just need to get some stops. There's a fumble. All right, so that sends Syracuse East back.
Now
it's going to be third and goal here from the 15.
Now that doesn't stop the clock, though.
No.
Well, the clock is stopped.
The clock is stopped because of an injury.
I see.
I
she's
believe
quickly up, so.
it was an injury.
She's slow to get up, though. Looks like number 6, Mackenzie Black, senior for Syracuse East. She's slow to get up, but she got up on her own accord. So at about the 16-yard line here is where Syracuse East is going to set up for 3rd and goal. So they need to get in the end zone. Probably going to be forced to take a 4th down. Can the North Stars get another stop? But they're going to need some explosive plays on the other way down. So both teams will talk things over. We'll be right back. Welcome you back here on the North Star Network on YouTube. 3rd and long here. Got to get in the end zone here to convert. Otherwise, it will bring up 4th down for Syracuse East. No timeouts left for CNS. 1 lone timeout for Syracuse East. So the North Stars, if they get the ball back, they got to move quick. And I do not know. Wow, nice flagpole. So that's going to bring up 4th down. Now, Jack, if you don't mind, just looking through the rule book just for me for a moment. Does the clock stop when they run out of bounds? Jack, our rules analyst and rulebook aficionado, he's going to check on that for us. But other than that, the clock really doesn't stop.
I don't think so.
Doesn't stop for much.
Doesn't stop for much here in flag.
This is a long 4th down, 4th and 13. It's shorter than the 4th down they were facing last time, which the North Stars were able to stop. And
Out of bounds, clock does stop.
The out-of-bounds clock does stop, so the North Stars can make some decisive moves to make some plays out of bounds.
At the very least.
Exactly. North Stars need to stop here. They can. So the North Stars have to move quick. There is going to be a 2-minute warning according to our rule book.
There wasn't a 2-minute warning in the first half.
Maybe only in the second.
Who knows?
It sounds like our PA announcer is saying 2-minute warning. But we'll stay with you here on the North Star Network. So 1:53 left, and the North Stars back with the ball. Okay field position, but, you know, in a normal situation, that'd be all right field position. But in this situation, not the best. But again, as we know, according to our rule book, if they, just like regular football, if they do walk out of bounds on a play, the clock does stop. So if the North Stars can make decisive plays, as that one is nice pass, although she's still in bounds, so they got to move quickly.
Go, 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 go.
Now you got to think, you know, Haley Dupra, she could have, if she had kind of just slanted out a little bit more, she could have ran out of bounds for that one.
But they've already burned almost a minute of clock there on that one play. That's why saving the timeouts is important, and they got to hurry up.
Liv Cook scanning. She's going to launch one deep.
Very deep.
Oh, incomplete. So the clock's going to stop on that one. They get a little bit of a break.
Okay.
That one was intended for number 10, Meadow Wirtz.
North Stars have got to stay in the air here. I mean, they can't afford to get a flagpole and lose almost another minute, which will put them at about 20 seconds.
Yeah, so they either got to do like a little out route here, just get to the sideline, or you got to think they got to have one big explosive play like we saw earlier.
No, it is third down, but they're about a yard from the 20.
Nice run. She's still up. Timmons. Wow. The flag's pulled. They got to move quick. No huddle here. So it looks like
just gotta go.
The refs are just taking their good old time setting up that ball.
Oh, of course they are. But the clock
they did stop the clock for the reset of chains.
The clock is stop, I said.
Clock is stopped. So Liv Cook gonna take the snap. She launches it deep for Meadow Wirtz. That picked off.
It's intercepted.
That one just a little bit too inside as Meadow Wirtz was on the out of that route. You know, that was a little bit of a kind of dagger route by Meadow Wirtz. It's just she kind of led her a little bit too much, leading to that interception. Don't have a number 1 on our roster for Syracuse East, but number 1 for Syracuse East was the one who picked that off. So that's just gonna about do it. No timeouts left for the North Stars, and a minute left. You know, they can run this clock.
Yeah, I'm assuming QB kneels are legal in flag.
Yeah, we'll see. no timeouts. So
I'm pretty sure they are, if I'm remembering from last year correctly.
If not, they could just run up the gut. What's going?
She's just gonna stand there.
Oh,
Okay.
She's just letting the clock run. I see.
That was so funny.
That's just gonna about do it. A great game nonetheless, though,
Yeah,
guys. I mean,
definitely.
Liv Cook, that happens a lot of times. You're under that pressure of that, that late situation. You kind of got to shoot deep, and in that case, just the tough pass to make. It was about a 25 yard pass she had to make there. Just unable to do so. But other than that, she had a great game, 2 touchdowns. Not quite sure her total yardage, but probably up in the 150s, 200s total between passing and rushing. But great game nonetheless for Liv Cook. Definitely shows some promise for this North Star squad.
That will do it.
That will do it. So the North Stars, unfortunate loss, but they move to 1-1 in seasonal play. Close game, tough loss, but nonetheless, the North Stars move on. 1-1 is their record. Thank you so much for joining us here on the North Star Network. I'm Joey Cox, your play-by-play commentator. Thanks so much to our camera operators, Jack Mannion and Brody Mason. Alex Schneible, our producer. Thank you so much, Caroline and Killian Heffron, for joining us here on the North Star Network. I'm Joey Cox saying so long from Michael J. Bragman Stadium.